flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, all. We have a rather lengthy agenda ahead of us, so we're going to try and pile on through it. We've got a couple of appointments to start with. Greg Nuttleman interviewing for the Capital Improvement Committee.
Mr. Nuttleman will not be here tonight.
Oh. Well, that puts a hole in the first 10 minutes. Ms. Winkler, we're going to hold on you until the appointed hour according to the agenda. So what I will do is take up Hank. I will take up Hank.
Yeah, I just wanted to call your attention to the Implementation Committee's report and the three recommendations at the end. One of the good things about it is there's a lot of progress already towards the goals on various boards and commissions. And I just had a conversation with the Board of Health, and they're working on 3 out of the 4 things that they were assigned. But the recommendations, specifically, the most obvious one is it's going to take money, and we hope that with the town administrator coming on board, we'll be able to write some grants. We also suggest all boards meeting. I know that's happened occasionally. It's hard to do. It's hard to bring off. It's hard to get everybody here. But I find communication is important, and we've seen some good things go on at our meetings where people have discovered that, for example, the Conservation Committee and the Historical Commission might be able to cooperate on a joint map of conservation properties and historical sites around town. And we do have somebody who apparently hopefully will be at our next implementation committee meeting, because we think it's important that the select board be represented, particularly since the select board set up the committee and assigned themselves a slot on the committee. So I'll answer questions if anybody has any.
I guess the first question is how much money?
Oh, as much as you could get.
Well, have you been up to Finance Committee for a budget?
I mean, I'm not saying anything specific. I'm just saying that to implement many of the aspects of the plan is going to take money.
Well, I guess the question is, should there be a budget set up for the Implementation Committee?
Well, I know.
How small?
No, because
it should come from individual budgets.
The Implementation Committee is primarily a mode of communication, keeping track of things and kind of prodding people, finding out some things. For example, I found out talking to the Board of Health that one of the things called for in the plan is a water quality education campaign aimed at people in town. They have been working with Bayback and PVPC on that already. It's stalled. So I'm going to get on the phone to PVPC and try to find out what's happening. That doesn't take any money. What I'm talking about is specific goals and objectives for specific committees.
Which should be in their budgets.
Which, in the long run, yes. Yeah.
But should your committee have some budget item first?
What would we do with it?
I don't know. I'm just asking because we're in the budget season, so if we miss it here, we miss it for a year.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think the committee's function is to coordinate, encourage, prod, make connections where it's possible to do that. And if there is any spare money, it should go towards one of the particular boards or commission's goals. And of course, not everything, the planning board is going to use some money they have themselves in their, what I call slush fund, feed money that accumulates, to have the subdivision regulations redone, which is badly in need of. So that's not going to cost the town anything. On the other hand, getting consultation on various bylaws, et cetera, might cost some money. PVPC doesn't do everything for free, and the amount of money left in the original master plan contract is finite.
Anything else from Hank?
No, I just am so impressed by the work that you've done on this whole plan, and it's really exciting, and I hope that we can help them to implement some of these fantastic ideas. Great job.
Best part of it is I only have to go to one meeting a month.
Anything else, Hank?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think at 6:39, Ms. Winkler, would you like to come up, please? And
Certainly.
is this a joint vote with the board? With their board? It's just us?
Yep, you're the appointing authority.
Please have a seat.
Okay.
I think I used to deliver your newspaper.
Really?
I think so.
What small towns are all about.
That's right.
Questions from the board? Do we have a letter of interest from Ms. Winkler? Or is
It was a card.
Yes, that's in the card. I now have a wireless printer, which at that time I could take advantage of the card.
How many open positions are there on the board?
One.
Just one?
Look at her nice handwriting.
What interests you in the Council on Aging?
Well, I went to a cookie swap in the fall and found out that there needed to be another person to work with this group that was already successful. It's like a win-win situation. I mean, a chance to give back and to add whatever I can add to the organization and to improve what we're offering our seniors in this community.
What's your experience? Work experience? Life experience?
I was a vocational director at Putnam High School for 18 years
Oh.
in Springfield. I worked for the state for 10 years in education. I'm an education person. I've done everything that could be done in education.
Now it's time to educate our seniors.
Well, I'm footloose and free. I have been for a while. I'm a friend of the public library, and we do fundraising. I've helped the Southampton Ponds organization in their fundraising efforts, and they're having a corned beef and cabbage dinner this Saturday night. I don't do a lot of things, but I'm baking 2 desserts. I won't be cooking the corned beef or the cabbage this time. Last time I did do the stovetop up stuffing for their dinner at that time. I also volunteer at the Northampton Survival Center for 3 hours a week. And I just enjoy it. I'm a goer. I go all the time. And I pick and I choose what I can contribute to and what makes me feel good.
Well, we applaud your participation and volunteers. Any further questions?
Oh, well, I've been to one of those corned beef suppers in the ponds, the Hampton Ponds Association with Cheryl Crowley.
Oh, yeah.
What a great
Wonderful
job.
organization.
Great job. The place is fantastic, huh? That new
And they put a
oven?
new floor. They brought in a new refrigerator, the new floor, new curtains, they painted everything.
The cellar is all
Yeah,
fixed up, and
Absolutely.
she's a dynamo, huh?
She is so much energy.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you're coming here to help us. Wonderful.
Does anybody want to make a motion?
It's an appointment.
Yep.
I would make a motion to appoint Kathy Winkler to the Council on Aging.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Welcome.
Thank you.
May you continue to volunteer with so much effort.
That's funny.
We certainly need it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does she need to get,
You will need to get sworn in, but town clerk is closed right now, so if you can come back on the day or next Tuesday evening.
Charlie, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, so I'll take up a couple of other things.
Yeah.
And it'll be
So you want to do some warrants? Somebody got them?
Oh, I didn't look at it. Sorry.
And let's go back and see what else we can do.
Well, we can do them. I'll just...
You can do them? Well, let me call time for public. Let me do that. Anybody with open time for the public? Anybody have any questions, comments for the select board?
Yeah, I was wondering what's going on with the
The chicken?
chicken.
Chicken across the road?
for 2 years now.
He's been a slow walker. Reggie checked this afternoon, I have to defer to her, I didn't get a report back
The
yet.
latest is, town council wants to know shall he proceed? I forwarded that email to you guys.
This afternoon?
I forwarded it last week or whatever time it was, and he had.
I was away last week, it got lost in the web of them.
And so, if I'm not mistaken, you all had agreed that you were going to move forward with this case, have the town move forward. So, asking him one more time, is it okay if I send him an email saying, please proceed?
Everybody remember the chicken case?
Oh, yeah, and it's been 3 years, not 2. And, yeah, well,
I forget what the alternative, why don't you summarize the alternatives? Do you remember, or can you get that memo?
The alternatives, meaning like where it's at?
Yeah, no, what he said, what his choice is to us.
Oh, let me get that.
Let's get that. Just be patient, I want to be,
they are patient, they're very,
I
very
understand that, but patient again. I do remember seeing the memo, but it was last week when I was on vacation, and I went through a bunch of them in real quick succession, and I know I looked at it, but
Well, I believe that there's supposed to be May 1st, a final court date coming up.
And I was wondering if there's some way that we could get to know that, if we could be informed as to when that date is, it's going to
Where it
happen.
is and
So we could be present, I'd like to be present at that. It's been a long time, and I really got something to say about it.
Yeah.
I suppose it's appropriate for us to ask town council to notify you, but I can't guarantee you that's going to happen, but we'll ask him to.
I'll
ask
Can't ask for more than that.
Are you anywhere with that there?
No, I was waiting for the case to,
No, I meant down there on the memo.
oh, she's still looking at it.
I don't know what to do with this. How you pay that person?
Oh. Payroll, yeah, you better, here you go, attorney, sorry.
Looking slice the chalk, but it's
Yeah.
not what I thought it was. I thought he was getting something else.
Can I see the gas electric bill? Do you see one there?
I have payroll here.
I don't know, we'd have to send it back. I think somebody should ask the highway super.
Is that normal to do in the winter, to just,
No. He's an employee, he has to go through the
right?
rigmarole.
All right, well, I'll just have to,
So, I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready with some.
okay.
Is that okay?
Go ahead.
So I have payroll deduction warrant 14-35 in the amount of $40,492.73. Everybody can sign that one.
Why don't we do them in mass? And we'll just withhold the vote on whichever one is, and if you've got one you can't sign already.
Yeah, P14.
Jackie,
Yeah, I see there's two
everybody's
of
got
them.
something they can't sign. Why don't you just read them off and we'll make a motion to sign them?
Can we just start at the top?
Yes.
Okay, so we have payroll warrant 14-35 in the amount of $70,482.93. Payroll warrant 14-35-1 in the amount of $138,451.28. Payroll 14-35-2 in the amount of $23,773.34. Payroll 14-35-3 in the amount of $248. Payroll deduction 14-35 in the amount of $40,492.73. Payroll 14-33 in the amount of $70,044.34. Payroll deduction 14-33 in the amount of $39,806.70. Payroll deduction 14-31A in the amount of $171,501.23. Payroll 14-33-3 in the amount of $928. Payroll 14-33-2 in the amount of $19,692.61. And payroll 14-33-1 in the amount of $142,664, you messed me up.
Sorry.
$142,664.60.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to sign those where appropriate?
I make a motion to sign those where appropriate.
Is there a second?
Second.
Where appropriate. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now, if you'll start signing those, but being careful not to sign.
Right,
Got it.
yeah.
ones.
I'm just going to start at the top and pass the whole packet.
Now, coming up on the chicken case. The last memo we have from town council is dated February 10th, 2014, and I'll read it to you. Per the court's scheduling order, we were supposed to have a pretrial conference on 11/2/13, however, nothing has been scheduled. I would be happy to contact the court if you would like me to try to move this along. Please let me know how you would like us to proceed. Were you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
How would you like to proceed? I can relatively say that this is stuck in limbo in court.
Yeah.
It's lost somewhere in the paper shuffle, and if it's anything's gonna happen, we have to do something to move it along. Do you think there's a pretrial, what I assume from what you're saying, the pretrial date May 1st, but from that, it doesn't sound like it.
No, that was November was the pretrial. It's supposed to be finalized May 1st.
That's the end date. That's, the scheduling order must say that that's the date by which it must be tried. Yeah. I'm familiar with those.
So what do...
So I think...
So it's somewhere floating in the court system. I don't want to say exactly why, but I think we need to push it, give it a little shove and have town attorney contact them and see if you can't get it back on the scheduling track. Because if they miss the pretrial conference, they're still going to have a pretrial conference before they're going to schedule a date.
Okay.
So is that a yes?
Yes.
All right, would you send a memo to them? When you send the memo, would you ask him to copy?
I do it anyway.
Huh?
I do it anyway.
You do it? Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
All right.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Let us know how long it takes for that chicken to cross the road.
They're waiting.
Long time to cross the road.
Yeah.
All right, we want to move on to Charlie? You guys all right to,
Yeah, we just...
can you
Yeah,
listen
you
and
can-
sign,
yeah,
listen
go
with one
ahead,
ear and
I'm
sign
on.
with the other?
Keep going.
Charlie, you're up.
Well, let's start off with the letter we got from town attorney, basically outlining 3 different deficiencies relative to the taking of the property for the town hall.
Oh, I saw that. Did I see?
Okay? Now, because this is all volunteer work, I figured the easiest thing to do was to do one part first, and then go to the second part, and so on and so forth. I went down to the courthouse to the council of governments and pulled the old records, and you might say that things get lost. Evidently, there was a public hearing on December 19th, 1982,
I'm done with the cancer.
to do what they call a mere housekeeping task, and there was no objections, and they adjourned at 3:35, but it appears nobody ever recorded anything with the registry of deeds. So, it appears that the best solution is to take the first page, resubmit it back to the Council of Government, and asking them to reaffirm this and to record it.
I think it seems appropriate, it's just a housekeeping, it seems like this is now a housekeeping chore again that didn't get taken care of.
That's all this is, as far as I can tell, is it's just something that's been sitting there. I mean, we got a road that was established in 1773 that we decided we didn't need in 1982, and we're still trying to clean the paperwork up.
Is this the road that we think runs through the school?
This runs right through this office right here.
Pick up your feet, everybody, that
In
may
fact,
be.
if you take and go to the second page, I took the liberty of putting the map that actually shows you
It is right through here.
right through here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to file a complaint against the town because for all the years I went to school, you guys made me sit in the middle of the street. I don't think that was very appropriate.
I'm trying to think, how long has the Larrabee School been here? 40s?
48. So, given the 3 sections of the letter from the town attorney, I thought it was better to just do one first
Is this wording what they suggested using, or
This is actually the wording that was done in 82.
in 82, but just never got filed?
Right, the only thing I added was further that your instrument of abandonment be recorded at the registry of deeds. I added that so that they understood that somebody's got to record this.
So and here's an interest, since county government has actually been done away with this, council,
Yes,
do they have the authority to continue
they
this?
have the authority to do it.
Okay.
So what'll happen next is if you sign this, then they're gonna go to George. George is gonna corral me, and then I'm gonna probably go to their meeting to explain
What happened?
what happened. Is that fair enough, George? About what it comes down to. Now, if you want to make a motion to sign that, then I'll get into the other two line items with that.
Does everybody know what's happening?
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to sign and resubmit this letter to the Council of Governments.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm just going to take one of these and make it an original, okay?
Whatever you want to do.
Do you know that there wasn't like a notary requirement on it, or a town clerk on it?
You have the copy of what they have on their file. It doesn't appear there was anything there.
No town clerk certification or anything?
No, there was John Garsky there, Edgar Mill there, as far as I can tell.
The old pillars of the community.
Yes, so it was fascinating to just go into it and see what.
All right, can I have one of your copies, ladies? And I'm going to give that to Reggie to put with the minutes for tonight. Maybe we should sign. Yeah, I think we better have a
So
second
now
sign.
this is just half of them, right? What are we?
Now,
I didn't get that far.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? I know it's a lot more.
the second part of the attorney's letter talks about us doing a more thorough title search. I want to step over that for now, because the third item is trying to establish that the fire station and this building were, how do I say this, given from the school department back to the selectmen as town buildings. So I need to go search those deeds out, so that's going to be the next project.
Would that not be part of somebody's, like, school committee meeting minutes to,
It may be, first thing I'd like to do is see what we get out of the registry of deeds. Second thing, what I have is the town clerk has a copy of all the old deeds in town. So we'll be going through that. My fear is when I go to the school committee and ask them for, we don't know a year, the minutes, we might be assigning somebody days to just try to find something.
well, I mean, we were talking, I've been on the board 9 years, and we were talking about converting this building 9 years ago. Now, whether it was done then or sometime in the,
But it's not just this building, it's the 1880 fire station. It's both of them.
oh, that's right, because that was this original school.
Yeah.
This is just our copy.
So what I'm saying is, voluntary kind of meetings, I thought the easiest thing was to grab one, get that one going, and then we'll have some time I'll work on this other one. And grab George and grab Bill and all the rest of that and work on that one. And just slowly piecemeal in. The other part to this is, none of the land that we're looking to build a public safety complex on is affected by this.
No.
We're really cleaning up this building and the present fire station.
How do you fix this building without cleaning all of that stuff up first?
Good question.
How does that happen?
You know, sometimes it's just better to be ignorant.
Ignorance is bliss.
Just leave it alone. and don't ask.
Yeah.
I have no clue, and I don't want to know.
Yeah, don't
I'm
ask.
just trying to get it straightened out.
Yeah.
The guys here are also looking at, we were on the committee to build a police and fire station, not do deep research and history of town.
Discontinue roads from 1770.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but
Yeah.
whatever. If we get it cleaned up, we'll be better off in the future, so.
Yeah.
The other piece is, we now have our request for qualifications for a feasibility study drafted, and we would like you to send it to town council for review.
Yeah.
And Reg, I sent it to you electronically, so you should have a clean copy. I got 2 copies here if you want to see them.
Charlie, why don't you summarize what the request for qualifications is?
I prefer that Joe did it, because that was Joe's project. I deal with dirt and water.
We interviewed, we had several architects come and talk to us about what the process is. And one of them was gracious enough to give us copies of 4 or 5 of these requests for qualifications. I guess the way it works is we define a work scope and we put this out for qualifications. We solicit registered architects, engineering firms in the Commonwealth to tell us who they are, what they've done in the past, what they're doing now in the realm of public buildings, especially fire and police facilities. And the way it works then is we review the qualifications and we select the most qualified firm in our judgment, and we've outlined some criteria in here that other towns have used in the Commonwealth. And then we make a selection, and then we negotiate for the not to exceed cost for our work scope. And if we're unsuccessful with the first qualified architect, we can go to the next one. So it's this is a compilation of 4 or 5 of these that one of the architects gave us.
And I see a fee schedule in here, or a fee statement of, I think I saw 40,000.
We're going to need to go to town meeting and request $40,000 to move this forward.
Have we talked to Finance Committee about it?
We've tried to meet with finance, but between snowstorms and everything else,
But you're going to meet with Finance before we...
it is my hope,
Okay. All
it
right.
is my intention.
This is a similar process that we went through when we did the school and when we did this building here.
Yeah.
Except that on those, well, I don't think on this one we had a grant, but on the school we had school building assistance committee. So do you,
Do you need a motion to send this to town council?
I would think that would be appropriate.
I make a motion to send the request for qualifications, the feasibility study for the development of a public safety complex to town council for review.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? The other thing we have to be aware of is we're blowing through our legal budget like crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem sending this down, that's not why I'm bringing it up. It just reminded me that I'm carrying around the financial revenue and expense accounts, and do you know the legal one off the top of your head?
I don't. But I don't think we received all the invoices either.
No, we got some big ones coming. And the last time I looked, I think we were well beyond halfway through the budget. You sound great.
Oh, I'm telling you, we all got together, went out to dinner, Kalita was there, he was sick, now I'm sick.
No.
We stayed from.
I told you not to be kissing those trees.
Ain't going to any damn dinner again.
Like illegal expenses. As of 2/15, we had a balance of $12,769, but we have some big invoices coming, so we have to be aware of that. Anything else, Charlie? Besides go home and get some rest?
Well, that's where I'm heading, but the other thing is, we are on hold when it comes to doing the perk test and everything until the snow disappears and all the rest of that. So we can't get into negotiating with Mr. Gray or anything until we do that.
All right.
But we can still do this, and we can still do the deed stuff, so.
And we were supposed to have the historical committee here at 7:10.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay. We're a little early in the scope of things, but do you want to chime in here at this point in time? And I assume that's because we were talking about the fire station.
Yeah. We did meet with the historical commission earlier.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, but this is their meeting, not ours.
I think we're probably sure, and I'm not sure what question you want answered here tonight. We did meet with the Public Safety Committee at not our last meeting, but the previous meeting, and we're very much updated with what they were faced with. In terms of advising the select board about the schoolhouse or fire department, I think we really need to think about a little bit further in that if we're talking about a safety complex here, we're really talking about perhaps 2 vacated buildings, both of which are in a National Historic District. I'm talking about the old town hall and fire station, and both of which can be considered as part of a total look-see. Both buildings in a National Historic District, both buildings contributing to that National Historic District. I have said to this committee before that the only thing that means is that if the town were to consider any state or federal funds in doing anything to either of those buildings, or were necessitated to get state or federal approval, then the state would become automatically involved, including Mass Historic would automatically become involved as to what the town would be able to do with either of those buildings. That would automatically be triggered as soon as, for example, you applied for state grants or state funds or a state license. I'm not sure whether a fire or a safety complex requires any sort of state licensing. I'm not sure about that. As far as the local historical commission is concerned, because we do not have a local historic district or a demolition delay law in town, we as a local commission have no say at all as to what can be done with either of those buildings. I would presume that Mass Historic and or the state would come back to the local commission for advice, but the local commission actually has no authority or responsibility in either of these cases. So, again, I feel as though we're a little bit premature in talking about this, except to advise the select board as to what may be coming up in the future. There is precedent set for not involving the local historic commission, and that precedence is the old library, which the historical commission, and that also is in a National Historic Area and a contributed building, and that building was sold privately, and commission was never part of any of that situation. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you.
Which is why we're here, we are asking you here tonight, so we don't do that again. I guess we have a former chief here, and I guess everybody's, if I can summarize everybody's consensus, we've all been in that old firehouse, and it's barely standing up at this point in time.
You know, after Charlie's digging into the deeds, etc., the school department probably owned that building, so we really don't know where it stands. Do we?
Well, if I had a dream, if I had a dream, it would be that I don't think we have the resources to save the schoolhouse because there's so little. That's so little.
I will just address that from the application to put that building into the state inventory states the following. Authority to convert the old schoolhouse to a firehouse was granted at a town meeting in 1948. A town appropriation of $700 was matched by $1,800 from other sources. Remodeling was done by firemen and local volunteers. So the legalities as to whether it was deeded over to from the school department to town, I don't.
Well, we know there's a big problem with deeds in the building since we're sitting in a highway right now. And a fire truck is now parked on a school bench. But it-
What was the date of that?
Town meeting 1948.
But again, if I came back to my dream, it would be that because there's so much wrong with that building, and Bill's here to say, I think more than I know, between the back wall and the doors and everything else, the cost of saving that building far exceeds whatever value that there is. But the old town hall certainly has a great deal of value, and I would like to see that, our focus be that building. And frankly, my dream would be to gut that back to its original gymnasium, hall kind of function, so we had a community center in town.
I have to say that as chairman of the historical commission, I'm not ready to stipulate that
I wouldn't.
firehouse is non-salvageable.
And I understand that.
I'm not qualified, and I don't know that the chief is qualified.
No, and I'm not saying we are, but I'm just, looking at it, it has its problems. Plus, it sits in the middle of what we would probably might be the driveway.
The proposal for the bidding includes a specification that the bidder has to have knowledge of historical buildings. That's where the expertise is going to start to come into this.
Right.
The discussion, the open discussion of I had a dream, is that the driveway is on the Albert Miles property.
Over there.
And comes around the fire station, and the fire station, the present fire station just sits there until it becomes either somebody decides what to do or it becomes a parking lot for the town hall.
We'll put the driveway through Albert Miles's.
Around it.
Well, we've already had traffic going.
Speaking of the car parked on the dining room table.
Yeah, you know. But the thought was, is if, and I don't know how this is going to play out, but the thought was that if we put the driveway on Route 10 there, we minimize the congestion on Route 10. We do not interfere with the driveway here, you know, and yes, we need a culvert to go over that brook, but aside from that, it's a direct shot right up that hill.
Wow.
One of my problems when I was chief and when I worked in that was the fact when they had a function at this school, you couldn't get a fire truck out or an ambulance out to save your soul. There was cars parked all over the place. It happened 3 or 4 times, and then we had an issue with the school buses. So
Which why is probably a good reason to have a separate driveway.
have a
Well,
separate
that's
driveway.
why we kick that around.
But, so maybe from a historical point of view, we can duplicate the architecture or something like that, but we're going to look at, we want to keep you involved.
I would presume that at some point there will be a building reuse committee after this is all resolved, and it would, but I mean, I've told you as much as I know.
And we appreciate that. Charlie, anything from,
No, I got nothing for tonight.
Go home.
any,
Oh.
Bill or anything?
I said too much already.
Anybody from the audience have any questions about the plan? Hearing none, I would move on for now. We've done all we can, right? You guys have what you need, you're informed, and we'll try and keep you in the loop, keep the historicals. And maybe if somewhere along the line, some money comes available through grants or other things to do something with one or the other building, we can make it a joint, kind of roll them together somehow. You know, that would be a...
The fact that both buildings are historic in International Historic District makes them eligible for preservation grants. That there's one going on right now. It's going to be already awarded. We won't be able to apply. But because they are in that status, they are eligible for preservation.
Well, I think
grants.
and I won't be here the next time, but I think we'd like to be, the board would like to be aware the next time for Old Town Hall, because obviously that building is deteriorating as we speak, and we need to preserve it if we're going to hold on to it.
I sent, Reggie, I believe, has the present go-around for the preservation grant. I sent it to her.
And then you all received it.
Okay. So if you'd keep us informed, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you, Charlie. Go home. Thank you. Get your medicine.
Sleep, he needs sleep. Yeah, aw.
At 7, we've got an executive session at 7:30, so, and then we're going to be back into open session at 7:50 if we stay on time. We have some other things to deal with. We did the warrants. I only signed one, though.
I know, I was just going in order, and
Oh, okay.
there was another folder, and I stopped, and
They're
just
coming
wanted to
your
make
way.
sure
All
I
right,
was
so
doing it the right way.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss something.
Nope, no. You're-
You may have gotten a memo today. Did everybody get the memo you sent on this community access? You saw Reggie's memo today on the contract. Do you want to send that to town attorney for review?
Yes.
So I need a motion.
It's from the ECAT, right?
Yeah.
It's from ECAT?
Yeah.
So I make a motion to send the contract with ECAT to town attorney for review.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do you need my copy of that? You should have moved over
So
here.
I wrote down things that I cannot sign.
Okay, we have,
This is the gas and electric stuff coming your way.
Okay, good.
we have some PCFs. We have the one for Heather, starting hire date of 3/3 replaces Diana Schindler as town administrator, salary, 56,000. And we have one for Reggie, change in position back to administrative assistant at $16.73 an hour.
And so my question is, the PQB didn't get them yet?
Well, I guess, what's the right order on these things? I forget how, department head signs
You guys are
it?
the department head. The
So-
Oh,
select-
that's why they're coming to us.
We're
As
signing them this time
department
as department head,
Gotcha.
not select person.
I gotcha.
Select board. So, do I have a motion to sign these?
Motion to sign PCFs for Heather Budrevitz and Reggie Tracy.
And Reggie. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Will you date those?
I just saw it right on the top, I thought.
Send them on. Where do they go? They go to QB next, and then the finance, and then back.
Oh, here we go.
Get the routing correct. Okay, that's the same thing from Charlie, so we don't need to do that again. Do you need an extra copy of that thing from Charlie? The motion? Did you send me a memo on this Chapter 61A thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Conservation Commission would like to buy the property.
Or they do not have any funds at this time?
Correct.
And how would they like to do that? Is Charlie coming tonight? First time I've ever had that.
Shall I put it on the next agenda?
I guess if Charlie wants to talk about it, he's got to. How, do they have a time when they need this done by?
I don't recall what it is.
Well, the other side of the coin is that if we don't do it on time, I'm sure they get it automatically, but we have a request of notice of intent to sell land or transfer land that's under 61A. It's from the estate of Maria Winter. It's a parcel of land containing about 3 acres on County Road. But the Conservation Commission has expressed an interest in purchasing the land, but they have no money. So Reggie's suggestion is we put this on next week's agenda and have them come. I don't disagree with that, but there may be a time constraint on this, and I don't know what it is. How long have we had this?
I don't have it in front of me. What's the date say?
February 20th?
9/28, yeah.
So
I got
just
that,
pass
yeah.
it on to next.
Right.
Is the envelope attached, Mike? It was a certified letter.
No, but it must have been February 20th because they've calculated the taxes.
Okay.
Wait, no, no,
Yes, that's
28
the
I
order.
certified too, so.
All right, so we'll put this, the agreement is, the consensus is to put this on the next agenda, to ask Charlie to come in if he wishes.
Right, yes.
And then I have a letter from the Hampshire Regional School Department. The public hearing for the Hampshire Regional School District's fiscal 2015 budget will be held at 7:30 on March 3rd in the library of Hampshire Regional High School.
March 3rd at what time?
7:30.
Where is it?
Hampshire Regional Library.
HR.
Oh, the letter, there is a letter here, Reggie, it's January 29th it came, or it's dated.
I think you still have time. If you put it on the next agenda. I'll have to look back.
You have lots of signs, sir.
So that's the rest of that, I guess. This somehow got separated from those other 2 pages.
Yeah, just one.
All right. Lost my... 7:30. Reggie, am I missing anything yet?
I don't think so.
Check me while I sign.
Did you guys vote on the bill warrant?
You did all the warrants, didn't you?
Yeah.
Is there more than one in any of these envelopes, or can I just sign calendars? Do you know why there's not a, on the Highway 1, there's some new fellow listed that didn't do a PCF on?
Is that the, I know what you're talking about, I don't know.
Which one had the warrant, the note on it?
The Highway Department payroll.
The white one, the white folder. Oh, I have it.
I've looked at this, so this needs to go to Mike, because that's what he needs to do.
You don't know anything about this Kevin LaBrie?
Yeah.
I don't know what job it's for.
Well, he's listed on just winter roads.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I don't have a cold, I just have to find it. It's dry here.
This one also did not have a PCF either. However, we retain him.
What's the board's pleasure on these 2 people on the Highway Department budget, or warrant, that do not have PCFs?
What gets done in the past? I mean, is he just plowing? Is that what he's doing?
Hasn't happened in the past.
See, the question my question is, if he's just plowing, why aren't we paying him out of expenses? Why are we paying him out of wages? So, regardless, you should have a PCF if you're paying him out of wages, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
And I think you need to tell Randall to come in and see us next week. To explain that. Agreed? Mm-hmm. I don't think we can not pay the person, but we gotta find out why it's there and not the proper paperwork. We still have more time? All right. You know what, Reggie, something got separated. No,
Do you have the agenda? Is this on the agenda? I don't want to go lose my page.
No, where's that?
Well, it's something with the Council on Aging.
Is that what the executive session?
The contract did come back for the Hampshire aggregate. It's in your packets tonight. It's in the final revision is in the signature folder. The marked up revision is in your packet. It should be.
I didn't see it.
Is it on the agenda?
Did I mess it up? Did I give it to you already somehow? Oh, here it is. Does everybody have a copy of this?
It should be in your packets, yes.
Building use policy.
Without discussing names or issues, Anybody want to talk about this request for disability?
It seems like there's a conflict there. Which one is it?
This, we can't do this one in executive session?
If you fall under number one, you're talking about the individual.
Yeah.
If the individual doesn't, that person have a right to be present.
It makes it hard
We're
to
not
talk
talking-
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in physical condition, mental health, or other professional conflict. Well, then I think if they want it, I think they come in.
Yeah.
If they want to be here and tell us about this, I think they come in, or their representative. Yes, no?
Yes, makes sense.
To discuss reputation, character, physical condition, that seems to be it. And we can't discuss physical condition in open session, so. Did they want this signed by now, or? Life is cruel. Does it say when? Next week he'd be eligible to start?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, next week to put him on the agenda.
Yeah, but when is he eligible to start the benefit?
I think Randall put the note on there.
It must be a little while because he's got to use up a bunch of time first, right?
Yeah.
But it can't.
All right, yeah, put it on next week. Executive session. Ask him, ask Randall. Because when we presented these in the past, the department head has been there.
Oh, I got you.
So, all right. Nobody signed this one.
That's at the school?
Yes.
I can't sign that.
But Jackie didn't sign it either.
Now, there's two of them I can't sign.
Jeez.
P14 33-3 and P14 35-3.
This is 33-1.
You're so fast.
I don't know why you don't move down here.
I don't want to be anything.
Okay,
This one right here,
We're so pretty.
the questionnaire has to do with the aggregate contract. So town council had a question
what's she saying?
asking our insurance agency something to consider.
One.
Jackie, you're the expert on HCOG and electric aggregation.
Right.
This is the residential program, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
This is not
separate from what
not the,
Is Ken asking for?
yeah, he's been pushing for this.
Right, well, are we waiting for our attorney?
Yes, this is it.
Right, okay, good.
Came in
I'd love to
today,
read
right?
it.
All
I'd
right.
like to read that if I may, and then
May.
get back to you. I don't think we should make a decision now.
Oh, cool it is.
Yeah, what's, just the man we want to talk to?
Yeah, I know. I heard him on TV.
Oh, okay.
It's about my reaction time.
Wow.
That's the benefits of
pretty
technology,
good.
if I ever heard it.
So,
One second. No, we got to finish this one first. You want to take this and tape? Ken's pushing this like crazy. When?
Right, because we have to find out what kind of rate he's talking about for the residents, for real time or a fixed time, and then we should have a public meeting about it too. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we have to discuss before.
You're the point person. It's yours.
Thank you.
We'll put it on, and send him a memo that we're putting it on next week, so that he doesn't call.
He doesn't.
This is the wrong folder, the payroll warrant, the one that we want. You sent me down.
That's good, I was looking for this.
Yeah.
It's a contract.
I think he's here for both.
Oh, he can't be here for the other, because we'd have to be in executive session for the other. The only one we can deal with is the issue of the employees on the payroll warrant that we don't know about.
okay.
The other issue, we're going to do an executive session next week, so presence is going to be required next week. I'm assuming this is Donna's note or Jackie's, or, huh? Robin's note.
Kevin Liberty?
Yeah.
Yes, I have submitted the paperwork. It's somewhere in the system, but it's on winter roads, it's probably taken from the wrong account.
It's on winter roads.
Okay, I need to fix that. And he has, I had somebody stop working for us. He got another job, so I needed to hire somebody quickly.
Unfortunately, we still have to go through the...
Oh, absolutely. He's coming in to fill out his W-2. He was supposed to do it today, but he has another job as well, so.
Well, and then we voted to pay this, okay? But we were just going to have you come in, so you could have...
Okay. I just want to make sure that.
Because they've got to get paid.
Everybody else is getting paid too.
Yeah, everybody's getting paid. We can't not pay somebody.
All right, the paperwork is in process.
All right. The only other question we had is which one? Tim Judd?
It's been on for a while.
Tim Judd has been on for a while, but he
Yes.
has no paperwork either that we're aware of. Maybe you...
No PCFs.
No
No
PC.
PCFs?
That's before his time.
Yeah, he's been plowing for us for a couple of years. I can try to,
Probably should...
he's the person that Kevin replaced.
Oh, so he's no longer... He's not going to be getting it anymore.
No, that was that warrant was the last one he'll be on.
All right, so then we just need to fix the paperwork on the other one.
Okay.
I guess I wouldn't bother doing the paperwork on...
Is that just for snow plowing? Is that all it is?
Yeah, just emergency people that have to call in.
But you got to go through... We got to get... It's got to be scored and... You know, I don't know how you came up with a dollar number for them, and it's got to get...
It was the same as
But
Tim said.
yeah, but you got to get it scored.
Okay.
So you have to create it. Is that the special job description? Is it separate from the other equipment operators?
Yeah, it's just emergency plowing when we need to call people in. We've only got 8 guys, we can't.
Yeah.
People already think we take too long plowing the roads, so.
So who rescores that? The PQB?
Yeah.
So I guess my suggestion would be to just write.
You got to create a job.
I'm just envisioning that meeting. And so if it has to be scored and it needs to be that dollar amount, then just a brief job description and...
Yeah, but you can't have that job description or that dollar amount be your goal.
There has to be a range.
Well, he's got to create a job description, and then they score it, and whatever it comes down to, it comes down to.
Okay.
It may not be 25 or whatever, but you got...
Just hope I can get people to plow for that.
I understand. All right, but that's what we are. All right.
What's the difference? Why wouldn't they be able to do through expenses?
If they're an employee, they still should be an employee. You're not making... They're not coming in with their own equipment, right? They're using our equipment.
He is not. If they have their own plow truck
Yeah.
as a subcontractor, from what I understand, that goes through expenses.
Okay.
Right.
If there's emergency employees,
It's wages.
it is wages.
Yeah. That'd be my impression.
I think so.
It's been a long time, so, Ed usually deals with these things automatically, but if they're an employee using our equipment, then they should be on the payroll with a job description and all of the other things.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll make sure he takes care of the paperwork by the end of the year.
No, you got to create the job description for him.
Oh, right. But you, okay, so we're kind of reverse engineering it?
Yeah, he's going to get paid. We can't not pay him,
Okay.
but we need the paperwork to continue paying him without a problem.
Okay.
So you need, and I mean, whether his job description has got to be CDL licenses and whatever else he has, whatever else he needs to perform that function. Okay?
But then the question comes, was it ever posted?
Emergency employees, from what I understand, don't have to be.
Well, it could be an emergency
If it's
temporary.
an emergency, I don't have time
So
to
if it's
post.
emergency temporary, all he needs is the PCF. Does he really need the job description?
I guess we should have one. I mean, it's not something, you should have one, I think.
I mean, hopefully it's not snowing in 12 weeks, right? And a temporary
Right.
employee can hold a...
Right, but I'm saying we should, if this is going to be a somewhat regularly occurring position, we should have it,
Like
Job.
a seasonal?
job description for it,
Okay.
I think.
Makes sense to me.
No, I agree. I'm
I
saying
mean-
maybe the job description isn't
I don't think it's, I mean, he plows.
as
but-
pressing as...
No, but I mean, he's got to have his licenses and everything.
Right.
And he's got to produce his licenses. I would assume you've got copies of his licenses on file.
Yeah.
CDL and
Yes.
drivers. I don't know what else he needs to plow. He doesn't need a lifting license or anything else, so.
Not unless he was using the big equipment and he's using a pickup truck.
See what you can do.
And he doesn't pay the union dues?
No.
No,
Well,
okay.
because he's temporary.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you for coming down so quickly.
Not a problem.
But I think you're going to be here next week.
Okay.
We're a little late. I've been trying to stay on schedule, but we got 7:30. We're going to go into executive session under Mass General Laws 30A, Chapter 30A, subsection 21, number 4, which is to discuss deployment or strategy regarding security personnel or devices. A sting operation. I've never read that one before. A sting operation. We're not going to do a sting operation. We're going to discuss strategy. We're going to discuss security of the building. And we will be coming back into open session at hopefully around 10 of 8. But before we leave, do we have other things other than that one item left?
Adam's here for.
Who?
Adam.
Oh, Adam. Just here. You're just here? Okay.
And Ken Heather stay?
Why is Ken here?
Ken Heather stay.
Oh, can Heather stay? I thought Ken Heather.
Oh, sorry. Hesitation on my words.
For the security issue?
He's our new town administrator.
Oh, it's Heather. I was thinking you were saying Ken.
Oh no, Heather. Ken Heather stay.
I thought it was Ken Heather, and I thought, okay, Ken Heather.
You didn't even know who that was.
Well, she stuck her head out for a second, and actually she looks like Amanda, and then Amanda was here.
You were trying to figure out who Ken Heather was in your...
I was scrambling on that one. I hadn't heard of Ken Heather before. All right. I don't have an objection if Heather stays. She's, yikes. She's not an employee yet. We're going to be discussing security, so I think I'm going to suggest that Heather, not Ken Heather. I'm suggesting Heather stays because this is an issue you're going to inherit. But I'll always know you now as Ken Heather. And you do look like Amanda Zadonis, which is who I thought you were when you walked in, which is why my glasses, my wife will holler at me, should not be on my head. They should be on my eyes. And we are going into executive sessions, or not, open session afterwards, so by roll call, I need a vote to go into executive session.
Moulton, aye.
Here's I.
Beal and I. And we will note that the Council on Aging personnel are staying with us. Does anybody need a break?
No?
You're cut? Yeah. Let me know when we're off.